Welcome back. And if this is your first time visiting my collection, then simply welcome. My name is Silas. Some call me the Chronicler. I don't collect objects, not really. I collect stories, not the glorious ones they write in books about heroes and empires. Number. I prefer the messy, foolish, unbelievable stories of how you all stumbled through history without wiping yourselves out completely. And there is no story messier, no lesson more expensive than the story of survival. It's the universe's oldest and most brutal instruction manual. The problem is, it didn't come with instructions. You had to write them yourselves. Today, we're flipping through that bloody textbook. We'll look at 5 of the most classic boneheaded mistakes that accidentally program the instincts keeping you alive today. So, stick around, because understanding how your ancestors failed is the only way to understand why you haven't yet. And if you have a thirst for the brutal truth, subscribe. This archive is where I keep all the expensive receipts of evolution. Our first lesson takes place long before cities, farms, or the disastrous idea of putting pineapple on pizza. We're going back to a time when the world was a giant, all-you-can-eat buffet, and you were on the menu. Let's begin. First rule of life, you need water. So, you see a river.
Wow.
It looks like a 5-star resort, doesn't it? Drinking water, fish, a great place to cool off. Setting up camp here seems like a no-brainer, but the logic of a thirsty idiot is dangerously shallow. They didn't see what was hiding in that crystal-clear water. First, the invisible enemy, the fever that hits for no reason, the stomach cramps that feel like something's trying to chew its way out. They died without ever knowing their killer's name, bacteria, or as I like to call them, microscopic ninjas. And second, you weren't the only ones who liked the river view. A river is basically a predator's food court. It attracts the prey, and of course it attracts the predators. By setting up camp, your ancestors just rang the dinner bell and put themselves on the daily special. They saw a home. I saw a waterfront graveyard. Lesson 2. In nature, nothing is free. Even plants have to fight to survive. And their weapons are chemical. When you're starving, everything looks like food. So, how do you tell a snack from a one-way ticket to the afterlife? By playing the world's deadliest game show, Eat That or Die. It was a brutal process of elimination. Don't eat the red berries. They made grug foam at the mouth. The white mushroom made Aya see the ancestors a little too soon. This was how the first field guide to botany was written in obituaries. Every salad you eat today has been peer-reviewed by countless graves. Remember that next time you complain that kale tastes bitter. Lesson 3. Kindness is not always a good investment. Turning wolves into dogs was humanity's single greatest achievement. But it also planted a deadly fantasy in their heads that every wild creature was just a Disney sidekick waiting to be discovered. They were wrong. Domestication is a genetic lottery that takes thousands of years. It requires traits most animals simply don't have. A bear will always be a bear. A tiger will always be a tiger. The problem with adopting a baby monster is that it doesn't stay a baby, and it never forgets what it is, even if you do. Lesson 4. Humanity's superpower was never individual strength. Alone, a human is a joke. You're weak, you're slow, no claws. A single hunter facing a woolly mammoth isn't brave. It's suicide disguised as confidence. Your real weapon wasn't in your biceps, it was in your throat. The ability to coordinate. A team could do the impossible. They could plan. They could set traps. They could use their collective brain to take down a walking mountain of fur. That lone hunter didn't bring home dinner. He brought home a lesson, paid for with his own life. Alone, you're the meal. Together, you're the hunter. And the final lesson, just because you found a house doesn't mean it's empty. In that world, a dry cave was the prehistoric equivalent of a rent-controlled apartment in Manhattan. And it was always occupied. The proof is right under your feet. Archaeologists find layered deposits, a layer of human ash. Right below it, a layer of cave bare bones, then human again. That is not a friendly timeshare agreement. That's the record of a multi-thousand-year-long real estate war. The only thing worse than sleeping outside is realizing you just moved into someone else's bedroom. And he's a very, very heavy sleeper who just woke up. 5 mistakes, 5 disasters. It's easy to judge from the comfort of your heated homes, but that's a luxury you can afford because of them. Because these aren't stories of failure. These are the first pages in humanity's survival manual. Every catastrophe was a data point. Every grave was a case study. Their legacy wasn't some vague fear. Their legacy is a single, vital question burned into the back of your brain. A question that has saved your species countless times. Are you sure this is safe? The world changes. Caves become skyscrapers. Spears become satellites. But the fundamental rules don't. The greatest threat is always the one hiding behind convenience and safety. These were the lessons of survival. But it's from that survival that the barely evolved stories truly begin. If you want to witness the first clumsy steps of intellect, of creativity, and all the glorious dead ends of your ancestors' evolution, subscribe, because the dawn is always the most interesting part.